Well, the main thing is you can, but you don't really want to touch the playing surface of the record because your hands are oily and that'll get on there and create residue, Part of the fun is caring for them. So what I would do, and like the most, I guess the oldest technique, is when it comes out of the sleeve, you just don't touch it. Remember exactly when I bought my first record. It was at the Elmhurst VFW Hall in probably 1993.
Where I knew it was like I was collecting was probably in my teens at some point.
A local punk band who actually is still playing shows here and there called Apocalypse Hoboken. I bought their 7-inch called Strikes Back.
And my parents would actually drop me off at like the Goodwill or the Salvation Army or on the weekends record shows.
Well, it started in 1989 in Chicago. Just before that, there's a store in London, which we still have in Soho. But the owner, Charles, started the first Chicago store just by bringing over a bunch of records from London. That kind of, was like the jump-off point. But since then, it's been all staffed by, all 3 stores now have been staffed by Chicagoans. I'd like to think we're the ones that really kind of gave Reckless its identity here and kind of took the ball and ran with it for the last almost 30 years.
Well, from the beginning, it started in Chicago, early 2000s, when I used to DJ in Chicago, when I kind of realized that I wasn't going to make money DJing and I hated doing what I went to college for. I started selling my records out of my loft in Logan Square, way back in the day. And then as it got bigger, basically when the economy collapsed, like in 2006, I moved everything back to my hometown in Minnesota and started a real, I would say, incorporated business out there, because starting something in Chicago is just a pain.
We have a website, reckless.com, and you can go on there and browse all 3 stores' inventories, and we do mail order all the time, and then we sell here and there on, Discogs and eBay and the other online places, but we keep things mostly in-house with our own website.
Pretty close to 50-50 as far as, not volume, but the amount of money we sell. If we have the months that it's not, it's like if the retail store was killing it that month, the online store was slower in general. But we sell on so many different websites now.
Just keeping up with the times, I mean, we do business all over the world. There's no reason to limit yourself to just the people in the city, Reckless isn't really a niche store where you have, neither is Dave's or Shuga, I guess, but you have 606 and Dusty Groove, and it's like the dance music store, or like the, soul and funk and hip hop store at Dusty Groove. Reckless has always been the store that just carries everything. You can come in and you can get whatever, the new Taylor Swift album, or you can get some insane noise artist from, the island of Malta, where, we do the whole range.
I mean, I think we definitely bring a little game to the street. So I think the other record stores maybe have to step it up now, and they have, which is good. We're like competition. You're just seeing more kids are buying stuff because the record labels are finally making stuff that the kids want. In the 90s and 2000s, they weren't making enough of the records that people wanted. When I was in high school and I wanted to buy a new Tool record, it was like $40, and you had to drive way the hell out to some record store that took the chance of buying it, for whatever the cost was. And then you'd get out there and they wouldn't even have it because they only ordered 2 copies, because there was only 1,000 made in 1996, and it was, the same thing happens now, except that there's 1,000 made in 9 different colors for 9 different stores, and it's still limited, but it's not, there's a hype to it. There's also the internet.
Crazy as it seems to me, as somebody that has been through several new trends over the years, I think what it is, and I can't say this definitively because I'm not a sociologist or anything, but what I think it is that younger kids have grown up. I mean, they may have even missed the CD wave. You know what I mean? There's kids now that don't know what a CD is or have never bought a CD. So they didn't really like grow up with like a physical product, you know. And now there's been sort of like this hubbub about records in the last like 10 years or so, you know. So maybe like the same years that these kids were going from like 10 to 20, you know, is kind of like paralleled this sort of like rekindling of interest in records. And I think it might just be a sort of like backlash against the like nothing that they grew up with, where now it's like, oh, there is an option where you have like this cool tangible thing and you can do all sorts of crazy stuff with the artwork, and like the records can come on all sorts of different crazy colors, and really just like a millennial thing, but rather just I mean, vinyl has been around for, I mean, within my lifetime I'm gonna see records turn 100. We're already seeing things where it's like the 50th anniversary reissue of this Beatles album or whatever. So it's like, if I live long enough, I might see, you know, like a 100th anniversary or something, which is crazy. And to me, that just shows that vinyl over the years has been like, it's never gone away. It's always been there in varying degrees of popularity. Now it seems a little more popular than maybe like in the 90s. But I think it's really just the format, it's just proven, you know, and now a younger generation is discovering this format that, you know, like I said, never went away, and it's proven to sound good and look cool and feel cool, you know. So I think that's another reason why it seems like a new generation is kind of getting into it these days. So you just have like fingers on the label, and then you just sort of like brace it on the side here, and then you can just sort of plop it on there, and then you enjoy. Then when you're done, you just kind of do the same thing in reverse, take it off, pick it up by the edges,